Hello and welcome to the Brick Freak. Today we're building something from the company Mould, mostly. This time the HJ-10 anti-tank missile tank. An anti-tank missile tank. Okay, model number 20001 and nearly 1700 pieces. Steerable, controllable via Bluetooth and your phone, or 2.4 gigahertz and an RC. Okay. Mould says we have 6 building steps, a really double-sided big sticker sheet. It tells us how the engine should be stickered, or the motors, it's not an engine, and how they were connected later on to the battery box. It's a little bit small for the old man, but I do my best. And here we see missiles can be launched, lifted and rotated in 360 degrees. Then we have a launch nozzle and all-terrain track. Okay, I'm curious. Okay, these are 5 building steps. The 6th building step has only such a small bag here. We have our well-known 2.4 gigahertz Bluetooth receiver box and battery box in one, with the typical micro USB cable, a bag of 2 and 3 length pins in the typical colors, don't know, here 15, 16 length carbon fiber axle, and then we have 2 L motors, I believe for the tracks, and then, and that's I'm really curious about, we have an M motor and a servo motor. So which one is firing and which one is rotating the turret? I believe the M is for the turret and the servo motor is for the firing mechanism. We will see. We will see. So, okay. The Germans are building tanks again. I have 5 tanks in my cellar. 4 are normal system bricks and 1 is the big Carter, same color, a big 2-in-1 missile tank, which is a normal tank, and a double or a 1 turret, double-sided here. Like, it looks a little bit like here a flak anti-aircraft turret. So you can both normal tank and anti-air turret. And this was a great set from Carter. So I'm very curious about this little guy here. So half of building step 1 we assembled. Oh, I forgot, I believe I forgot something there, but it doesn't matter. We have 4 of these big H frames here, 2 15 length lift arms to give a solid base. I believe the tank is not much longer than this. No, I don't believe he's much longer. We assembled, or I assembled, the 2 L motors here, not connected to anything at the moment. But it's interesting, the position, and now I'm curious how we make the transition to the side, to the tracks. Okay, and this here is the front. Nice. The dark olive green, or dark military green here. Okay, nothing special at the moment. So 2/3 of building step 1, we assembled the M motor and 2 more of the H frames. Here some frames, small ones. And at the moment here the M motor has a long axle, 10th I believe, or 11th, and 2 of the black gears. And when it's in this position, here the gears all turn, and if I slide it forward, so now they are connected to the motor, so this makes sense. Why this sliding function is in it and how this will be sliding. That's my I don't believe this will be made by hand or controlled by hand, so I'm really curious. Building step 1 is finished, and it's really interesting. This is the first interesting thing, is that the motors are this wise and not in that direction, so that this here is going directly to the tracks. That's interesting. Then this slidable M motor, and you see here the pin with the knob here, and I believe now the servo motor here will slide the M motor in position, and so the M motor is for both, for turning the turret and for firing. Interesting, really interesting. And yes, I'm very curious if I get to work everything at the end smoothly. We will see. You know, sometimes I mess up with technique. It's not my favorite theme. I like it meanwhile, but yes, I'm not the best technique guy, we all know. So the beginning of building step 2, and we assembled a lot of here, 8 of the frames to cover the side, and now all the movable parts are at the motors. So we have on A this here, on C the other. I believe I have to switch the... Yes. If your motors with Mould King turn into another direction than you want, so if C when up is moving backwards, just push both C, both D, both A or both B. It doesn't matter, to switch 180 degree, and then the engine's running into, or the motor's running into the other direction. Okay. So we've seen this is working. So B at the moment it pushes the motor from the frame, because there's no technic beam. But if you watch, you see this? Okay, it switches into position. So I have to hold it. That's a little bit a bummer. So when I'm hold it in this position, the whole turret is turning. And if I put it into the other position, why is it not moving? Did the German take it moved? I have to watch. But it worked a few seconds ago. We will see. I show you in the next part. I forgot time, and that I want to show you a little bit earlier the progress. But okay, it is what it is. I assembled a lot of, to make it sturdier, Technic beams here. And here a lot of the T Technic beams, 8 on each side. This here got stabilized, everything. Now it's really sturdy. You see the 8 Technic frames. So this is now really sturdy. What you hear in the background is my rabbit. It was feeding time. I hope my time soon. Okay, here you see the gears and Technic to move the turret, and inside the turret these here were moved. Yes. This is a really enjoyable, sturdy, solid build. Well made, funny technique solution. This here is a funny solution with the sliding M motor. Really great. I don't know if this is a stolen mock, I have to look. And this here, that for a tank, we use this here, this part that's often on the off-road Technic cars. for driving the tank. But okay, when it works, no problem at all. We will see. Well, building step 2 is finished. And yes, I don't have much progress for the last take. Sorry for the long last take and the short one here. It hasn't changed much. This here still irritates me, but I don't want to use the 5 long axle because perhaps there's a reason. We wait till the end. Then we fix the battery box, so build some additional connectors onto it, so it is sitting on 4 pins, really straight here. And then we come to the front part, and at the moment, yes, the reason is there's a 5 length lift arm, a 7 length lift arm, and then comes the half one, the 6 length. And there is not much, with the half pins, there is not much sturdiness in it. We will see. We will see. I believe it will be covered with the side panels. Here we still have a pinhole, and that this here will be covered, but we will see. If it stays so, oh man, but I can't believe it. Oh, the tank. So this is half of building step 3. First I assemble this here, then the 2 panels together with this here with the 15 length and click it in, and this here, and this panel out of a small one, a big one, a small one, here in L shape. This here is sitting on 4 half Technic pins, the blade, and it's not, has no function. You can't open it, nothing. And then we start the same on the other side. Here the mud guard, and here the panels. And what should I say? This thing is really, really sturdy. You can press and wherever you want, nothing will fall apart. Perhaps only the door, because she sits on 4 half pins, the door, but that's the only thing I believe. The rest here is really, really sturdy. So, but this here is fixed too. This is a cool toy, I believe, for children. I believe it will work properly. So, here we attached our front panels to give them this unique angle. This here is not covered at the moment, it's still flying around. Then we have attached 2 actuators here, and here we have the 18 length carbon axle. And for all the new perhaps viewers with this video, perhaps there are some guys who never looked the video from me, but here with tank, perhaps they are looking. One thing, the carbon axles are, you need much more force or power to push it through the connectors. That's the first thing. And the second thing, you see the pieces there, the panels, they are from 3. So Mould King often, not always, but often brings different pieces to different building steps. You have it in 3 and you need it in 4, 5 and 6, or you have it in 3 and need it again in 7 or something like that. So stay calm, everything is alright. Well, this is at a moment. The beginning of building step, what is it, 4? Yes, I believe it was 4. And we are building on the turret our missile launchers, and you see the long axle, and first we bring on this here with the tile side forwarding so, then we bring on this and use the studs here in the Technic beam, bring on this side to cover it, and so from all three sides it's closed and attached over here over the Technic beams and the studs. So very clever solution, very clever solution. So this here now is finished, our turret with all of our 8 missile launchers, and I accidentally activated the fire mechanism when after the first 4 were assembled, and all 4 went out, and I found 3, and I'm missing 1, and I believe it's in the rabbit's cage, so I have to look later. But there are only 8, so this is a big minus, Mould King. Sometimes I have over 100 or 150 pieces over on your models, and you give us only 8 of the shooters when we need 8. Oh, come on. Next time, please, 8 or 16. Yes? Because they are costing 2 cents. So put some more in, please. And make the product $1 more expensive. It doesn't matter. But put some more spring-loaded shooter in it. Okay. I think the design is okay. I don't mean the look. I mean how it's designed to build it, and that's really cool. That's a cool solution how they made it. It works, and yes, it's looking okay. Absolutely, absolutely. But the most important thing is it is sturdy and it's good to build. So building step 5 is done and brought us here the entrance, the easy access to our energy hub. So one thing is we have a gap there. It must be, we can fill in, yes it works. You can fill in a Technic beam, or you fill in a normal plate and tiles over it to close the gap if you want, in dark green if you have them, if you don't have a Technic beam in dark green, because perhaps not all of you have. So then use 2 of these here with the half pins, and use plates and tiles if you want to close that here. This here still wobbling around here. I hope it's one of the things that bothers me since the beginning is fixed in the end. What should I say? And 57 on each side. That's my favorite work, number 1, with, it's not Lego, with Mould King pieces or other non-Lego pieces, or with Lego sometimes, because if you don't know what I mean, there's a German YouTuber that he said all is Lego. Because it's not a word for one thing, so you know this. There are some words that were owned by a company for a product, and now everybody uses this for similar products. And he said it this way, and he gets a nice letter from Lego. So I want to avoid this mistake. So of course this is not Lego, but if you don't want to count, 5. I had 5 over pieces, so just take 5 away and then build similarly, and then you come to 57 on each side. But if you have a child, let the child do it. My daughter must had assembled one at the moment, and she will, you are evil and mean dad. So I'm an evil and mean dad for assembling my kid, my little daughter, 12 years old, the track pieces. Evil mean Frank. That's my new YouTube name. Evil mean Frank presents non-Lego. So we are finished, and 6 was only here the side panels. And I have to admit, I'm still a little bit angry because this here Mould King didn't fix it. I fixed it myself. This was still wobbling around, hanging around, because it's not fixed, connected to the side panels. So I had 2 possibilities: to change the side panels, and that would be a pain in the ass, or to change that here. And my first thought was I use a long axle, but with all the 3-length Technic beams and the others, I wasn't able to get a free slot through everything. So I took out the half pins here and changed everything around and used 2 more black pins, especially with the half Technic beam here. And now you see it's sturdy, it doesn't wobbling around, it's sturdy, everything is alright. So you have to fix that manually. The rest here, okay, the side panel, it's working, but you will see this, you don't see it, just outside the focus. I was not coffee on the white. Okay, this was it. My final opinion, what I really like and what I don't think, or I think is not so cool but easy fixable. I say you in the review, and I show you how it drives and how it shoots and how it turns and everything. So I want to ensure you click on the review for my revenue. No, yes, no, yes, no. Okay. Just my opinion about, if you like what you're seeing and it's working, I can assure you, if you don't want to wait and want to buy it now, it's okay, absolutely okay. If you like what you see, and if you can live with the gap here, and I said it's easy to fix, then it's an enjoyable build. Not too complex, easy to build, working, and has a nice look. I believe it's near the original. We will see. I try to find pictures of the original, if there is any. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'm Freak. I am Freak. I am Frank the Brick Freak, and I get you in the next one.